For decades, Hollywood told us Natalie Wood's death was a tragic accident. But after 44 long years, the truth finally surfaced, and it's far more chilling than anyone expected. Natalie Wood wasn't just a movie star. She was a Hollywood legend, a child prodigy turned leading lady whose life and death both captivated and haunted the public. Born Natalia Nikolaevna Zakharenko on July 20, 1938, in San Francisco to Russian immigrant parents, Natalie was destined for fame from the start. Her mother, Maria, driven by ambition, was relentless in her quest to see her daughter shine in show business. By age 4, Natalie was already on screen, debuting in the 1943 film Happy Land. She wasn't just cute, she had undeniable emotional depth. That became clear in 1947's Miracle on 34th Street, where, at just 8 years old, she melted hearts as a skeptical little girl discovering the magic of Santa Claus. That performance catapulted her into the national spotlight and marked the beginning of a lifelong career that defied the typical child star trajectory. While many faded into obscurity, Natalie seamlessly transitioned into adult roles and remained relevant for decades. By the 1950s, Natalie had grown into a striking young woman and one of Hollywood's most sought-after talents. Her role as Judy in Rebel Without a Cause opposite James Dean in 1955 not only earned her an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress but also cemented her status as one of the era's brightest stars. Her on-screen chemistry with Dean created a cultural moment that's still remembered today. The 1960s saw Natalie reach even greater heights. She earned a second Academy Award nomination for her raw, unforgettable performance in Splendour in the Grass, 1961, and starred as Maria in the film adaptation of West Side Story. While her singing voice was dubbed, her expressive portrayal helped make the film an instant classic. Other standout roles followed, including Love with the Proper Stranger, Inside Daisy Clover, and This Property is Condemned. But despite all the glitz, Natalie craved deeper roles and often felt boxed in by Hollywood's expectations, especially as someone who grew up in front of the camera. She wasn't just beautiful. She was intelligent, professional, and respected by major directors and co-stars like Elia Kazan, Warren Beatty, and Robert Redford. But her off-screen life was as captivating and complicated as any role she ever played. Natalie's love life, particularly her marriages to actor Robert Wagner, fascinated the press and public alike. They first wed in 1957 when she was just 19 and he was 5 years older. Their union seemed like a perfect Hollywood romance, but beneath the glossy headlines were deep personal struggles. According to various biographies and insider accounts, things took a dramatic turn in 1961 when Natalie allegedly discovered Wagner was having an affair, not with another woman but with another man. In the early 60s, that kind of revelation wasn't just shocking, it was earth-shattering. While never publicly confirmed, the rumor devastated Natalie. They separated in June 1961 and divorced less than a year later. Heartbroken but determined, Natalie moved on with a string of high-profile relationships. She dated Warren Beatty, Michael Caine, and David Niven Jr., each connection capturing headlines but failing to bring lasting happiness. In 1965, she got engaged to Ladislav Blatnik, a wealthy businessman, but the engagement fell apart. Eventually, she found a more grounded relationship with British producer Richard Gregson, whom she married in 1969. The birth of their daughter Natasha in 1970 brought joy, but once again the marriage didn't last. She filed for divorce in 1971. Then, in an unexpected twist, Natalie reunited with Robert Wagner. By July 1972, they had remarried in a quiet ceremony aboard a yacht off Malibu. Their second union seemed like a fresh start. 2 years later, they welcomed a daughter, Courtney. But even this chapter, which looked idyllic from the outside, may have had hidden shadows. In 2015, a former FBI agent named Donald G. Wilson claimed to have had a secret 4-year affair with Natalie between 1973 and 1977, allegedly starting while she was pregnant with Courtney. Though Wagner denied the affair and many questioned Wilson's credibility, the claims added another layer of complexity to Natalie's story. And then came the night that changed everything. On a cool evening in November 1981, Natalie Wagner, actor Christopher Walken, her Brainstorm co-star, and the yacht's captain Dennis Davern were aboard the Splendour near Catalina Island. What was meant to be a relaxing getaway turned into a nightmare. By morning, Natalie was found drowned in the water. She was just 43. Authorities initially ruled her death an accidental drowning. But the story never sat right. Natalie had a documented fear of dark water. Bruises were found on her body, and reports suggested a violent argument had taken place that night. Wagner, the last person to see her alive, offered conflicting accounts. For decades, rumors of foul play persisted, but the case was closed until 2011. That year, Davern came forward and admitted he had lied to protect Wagner. He now claimed there had been a heated fight on board, and that Wagner delayed calling for help. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department reopened the case. In 2012, the coroner updated Natalie's death certificate to reflect drowning and other undetermined factors. It was a quiet but significant change, suggesting her death may not have been so accidental after all. The investigation uncovered inconsistencies, overlooked evidence, and suggestions of a cover-up. In 2018, Wagner was officially named a person of interest. Though he denied any involvement, the cloud of suspicion deepened. Some investigators and theorists applied principles of game theory to that night. For people on a boat, tensions high. Fame, careers, and reputations on the line. In such confined, pressure-cooked scenarios, people don't always act ethically, they act to survive. Maybe it wasn't about truth. Maybe it was about protection, damage control, and silence. Reports indicated that Wagner was jealous of Walken's friendship with Natalie. Davern later claimed Wagner flew into a rage, and that Natalie disappeared soon after. Walken, for his part, has remained almost entirely silent on the matter, neither confirming nor denying anything. His refusal to speak has only fueled public suspicion that all was not as it seemed on that yacht. What the public came to understand, painfully and slowly, is that Natalie Wood's death may have been less of an accident and more of a tragedy hidden in plain sight. A tangle of fear, reputation, and silence kept the truth buried for decades. In the end, the story of Natalie Wood isn't just about a beloved actress lost too soon. It's about how celebrity can obscure justice, how secrets can survive for decades when enough power protects them, and how the most glamorous lives can hide the darkest truths. Solving the mystery didn't bring closure. It exposed something worse, the possibility that Natalie Wood's death wasn't just tragic but preventable. That silence, not time, is what kept justice out of reach for 44 long years.